Dear students, let us now learn the importance of meteorological factors in air pollution. You may wonder how meteorology is related to air pollution. I can say that the study of air pollution is incomplete without learning meteorology. Once the air pollutants are emitted into the atmosphere, they are under the mercy of the atmospheric phenomena. Some pollutants may fall down due to gravity, while some other will deposit on surfaces of buildings, leaves of the plants or any other structures due to electrostatic attraction. This is adsorption and this is called dry deposition. Some pollutants like particulates participate in cloud formation mechanisms and are removed through rainfall or snowfall. The mechanism is called rainout process or rainout mechanism. It is also called in-cloud scavenging. Yet some other pollutants will be washed out by falling raindrops or snowflakes. This mechanism is called washout mechanism. It is also called below cloud scavenging. Some pollutants may undergo transformations through photochemical reactions. For photochemical reactions to occur, the solar radiation is very important. So what do you find in these pictures? Movement of air is called wind. This can be perceived by movement of leaves of the plants or leaves of the crops. So what is wind? Wind is the movement of air. It is called wind. Wind is the movement of air relative to Earth's surface. It is due to imbalance of forces acting on air molecules. Air moves horizontally as well as vertically. How is wind formed? Air moves from one place to another due to pressure variation. Why there is a pressure variation? Horizontal pressure variation is due to difference in net radiation in two different places. This pressure variation acts as a force to drive the air to move to cause the wind. This force is called pressure gradient force. There is another force that is called Coriolis force. This force is due to spherical nature of the earth and also due to rotation of the earth. It makes the moving air to be deflected to its right in northern hemisphere and to its left in southern hemisphere. And the third force is also there, that is called frictional force. It is due to presence of buildings, trees and rough surfaces. It exerts friction upon the moving air. It also deflects the moving air. However, this force becomes zero approximately 1 kilometer above the Earth's surface. Importance of wind. Wind is very important in air pollution because it transports the pollutants to horizontally to long distances. As the pollutants are transported, they also diffuse laterally as well as vertically. Some will fall down due to gravity, some will deposit on the surfaces, some will be scavenged by rainfall. You can see in this diagram that the pollutants are released from sources, various sources, and the pollutants are transported by the winds, and some of the pollutants are falling down or scavenged by rainfall. Next to wind, stability of the atmosphere is very important in determining the dispersion of air pollutants. What is stability of the atmosphere? To understand stability of atmosphere, we have to know the vertical temperature in the troposphere. In troposphere, temperature decreases with height. Rate of change of temperature with height is called lapse rate. Average temperature lapse rate is minus 0.64 degrees Celsius for every 100 meter elevation. And the stability of the atmosphere is determined by the lapse rate. We have one more lapse rate, that is called adiabatic lapse rate, that is theoretically calculated lapse rate. If a parcel of air rises to higher altitude, it expands and cools. This takes place adiabatically. The air parcel neither gains the heat from surrounding nor loses its heat to its surrounding. Lapse rate of the air parcel is called adiabatic lapse rate. If the air parcel does not contain water vapor, that is, if the air parcel is dry, and when it rises and cools, its lapse rate is called dry adiabatic lapse rate, abbreviated as DALR. DALR is theoretically calculated as -1 degree Celsius for every 100 meter height, or we can say that is equal to -10 degrees Celsius for every kilometer. And stability of the atmosphere. What is stability of the atmosphere? When a parcel of air is forcibly released upward, it will move upward. If it returns to its original position, the atmosphere is said to be stable. Otherwise, if it keeps moving upward, then the atmosphere is said to be unstable. So this is the condition of the stable atmosphere. You can see that in the graph. This graph depicts DALR and ELR, that is dry adiabatic lapse rate and environmental lapse rate. DALR is theoretical value, therefore it is always constant. The rate of decrease of temperature of the rising dry parcel of air is called dry adiabatic lapse rate. It is always, we know that 10 degrees Celsius for every kilometer. And ELR will vary depending upon the weather conditions, because weather is not a constant one. It varies time to time of a day or time to time in different seasons or different months. Therefore, ELR will be different. Even on a single day, ELR will be different. Suppose ELR is less than DALR, that is the rate of decrease of temperature is less than DALR, then the atmosphere is stable. In that condition, this rising parcel of air will go upward and it will cool down adiabatically, but the temperature of this parcel is lower than the surrounding temperature. You can see here at the same height of 1 kilometer, the temperature of the rising parcel of air is 17 degrees Celsius, whereas the surrounding air is having temperature of 22 degrees Celsius. That means surrounding air is warmer and lighter than the rising parcel of air, which is cooler and heavier. Therefore, this parcel which rose to the height of 1 kilometer will again sink downwards. That means the vertical movement of air parcel is prevented, and this condition is called stable atmosphere. And we have unstable atmosphere. Here you can see in the graph DALR and ELR. ELR, environmental lapse rate, is greater than DALR. That means rate of decrease of temperature of environment is greater than that of the DALR. You can see here in this diagram the parcel of air which is released having temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. The surrounding air also had 27 degrees Celsius. This parcel, when it moved 1 kilometer height, the temperature decreased to 17 degrees Celsius, whereas the surrounding air is having the temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. And the temperature of the parcel of air is higher than the surrounding air. this parcel of air is warmer than the surrounding air and hence it is lighter than the surrounding air, then it will keep moving upward. So this is called unstable atmosphere. And another case is both ELR and DALR is same. The rate of decrease of temperature of environment and also theoretical rate of decrease of temperature of the dry parcel of air is same. Then in this case the atmosphere is said to be neutral. And we have another condition that is called inversion, that takes place especially during night time and especially during winter nights. The temperature increases with height instead of decreasing with the height. So in this case the rising parcel of air will cool, but when it goes upward it will be cooler than the surrounding air, therefore it will come down to its original position. That condition is called inversion. So depending upon the atmospheric stability, the dispersion of pollutants will be different. And the pollutants, the parcel of pollutants released from a source is called plume. And the plume, when they are emitted, the plume will be transported by the wind and also will disperse laterally and vertically. Under unstable conditions, the first figure depicts the unstable atmosphere. In the unstable atmosphere, plume will have a looping plume. That means plume will move horizontally as well as it will also disperse both vertically and laterally, and more dilution will take place under the unstable condition. And the second diagram depicts the neutral atmosphere, in which the plume will have coning shape. That means plume will travel along with the wind and also will disperse laterally and vertically. It also facilitates good dilution. Contrary to these two situations, we have third diagram which depicts the plume behavior under stable atmosphere. The plume will travel along with the wind but will not disperse vertically, and it will slightly move laterally. That is called fanning. So these are the three different plume behavior under unstable condition, neutral condition and stable atmosphere. In this lesson, we have understood two meteorological factors in air pollution. One is wind and second one is stability. In brief, we have understood the importance of wind and atmospheric stability. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.